in the vibrant yet challenging neighborhood of East Harlem, New York City. On June 8, 1966, a boy named Alberto Martinez was born into a world teeming with cultural richness, but also marked by economic hardship and social challenges. His Puerto Rican heritage placed him within a community that was deeply rooted in traditions and familial bonds. Yet the neighborhood's landscape was marred by poverty, limited educational opportunities, and the pervasive influence of street crime. From an early age, young Alberto, affectionately known as Alpo, was acutely aware of the stark disparities that defined his environment, where the opulence of the few stood in sharp contrast to the struggles of the many, creating a complex backdrop for his formative years. As a child navigating the bustling streets of East Harlem, Alpo was captivated by the allure of the local hustlers, who paraded their wealth through flashy cars, designer clothes, and an entourage that commanded respect and admiration. These figures epitomized a form of success that seemed both accessible and aspirational to impressionable youths like Alpo, who yearned for an escape from the confines of their socio-economic realities. The magnetic pull of this lifestyle was not merely about material possessions. It represented power, autonomy, and a sense of belonging in a world that often rendered young men of color invisible and marginalized. By the tender age of 13, Alpo had already embarked on a path that would indelibly shape his destiny. He began engaging in petty crimes, such as purse snatching and street-level hustling, activities that served as his initiation into the complex and perilous ecosystem of the streets. These early endeavors were not merely acts of youthful rebellion, but strategic moves in a high-stakes game where survival necessitated both cunning and audacity. Alpo's innate street smarts and charismatic demeanor quickly set him apart from his peers, marking him as a figure to watch in the neighborhood's underworld. Recognizing the limitations and risks associated with petty crime, Alpo sought to ascend the ranks of the street hierarchy by immersing himself in the burgeoning drug trade that was rapidly transforming urban landscapes across America. The crack, cocaine epidemic of the 1980s had created a lucrative, albeit dangerous market for those willing to navigate its treacherous waters. For Alpo, the drug trade represented not only a means to financial gain, but also a pathway to the respect and recognition he so deeply craved, offering an opportunity to transcend the socio-economic barriers that had long constrained his community. In 1985, a pivotal encounter would significantly alter the trajectory of Alpo's life and burgeoning career in the drug trade. He crossed paths with Azie A.Z. Faison Jr., a prominent and influential drug dealer operating on the west side of Harlem, who had established a formidable presence in the drug trade, commanding both wealth and influence. Impressed by Alpo's ambition, street savvy, and relentless drive, AZ took the young hustler under his wing, providing him with invaluable insights into the operations of large-scale drug distribution and the nuances of managing a sprawling network that extended beyond their immediate neighborhood. Under AZ's mentorship, Alpo's operations expanded exponentially. He transitioned from street-level dealings to orchestrating complex distribution channels that supplied narcotics across various neighborhoods and, eventually, cities. This period of rapid growth was marked by both prosperity and peril, as the lucrative nature of the drug trade attracted not only a growing customer base, but also fierce competitors and heightened law enforcement scrutiny. Alpo's ability to navigate these challenges with a blend of charm, strategic alliances, and, when necessary, ruthless enforcement, solidified his reputation as a formidable player in Harlem's underworld, earning him both admiration and notoriety. However, the volatile nature of the drug trade meant that alliances were often tenuous, and today's partners could become tomorrow's adversaries. The intricate web of relationships that Alpo cultivated required constant vigilance and a keen understanding of the ever-shifting dynamics of power and loyalty within the criminal underworld. It was during this time that Alpo formed a partnership with Rich Porter, another influential figure in Harlem's drug scene, known for his business acumen and extensive network. Together, they orchestrated operations that significantly increased their wealth and influence. But the pressures, temptations, and inherent dangers of the trade would eventually strain their relationship, leading to tragic consequences. As Alpo's ambitions grew, so did his desire to expand beyond the familiar confines of Harlem. He set his sights on Washington, D.C., a city that was grappling with its own drug epidemic and presented a ripe opportunity for expansion and dominance. Tiu move to D.C. was not merely a business decision, but a calculated risk that required Alpo to establish new alliances, understand the local landscape, and navigate an unfamiliar and potentially hostile environment. It was in D.C. that he encountered Wayne Silk Perry, a notorious gangster and enforcer known for his lethal efficiency, unwavering loyalty, and fearsome reputation. Perry became Alpo's bodyguard and hitman, a partnership that would prove instrumental in Alpo's efforts to dominate the DC drug market and eliminate rivals. The expansion into Washington, D.C. marked a significant chapter in Alpo's career, showcasing his strategic foresight, adaptability, and willingness to take bold risks in pursuit of greater power and wealth. However, this move also attracted increased attention from law enforcement agencies, who were intensifying their efforts to dismantle the drug networks that were ravaging urban communities and contributing to rising violence. Alpo's high-profile, flamboyant lifestyle and audacious operations made him a conspicuous target, and the walls of legal scrutiny began to close in around him, signaling an impending downfall. In November 1991, Alpo's reign came to an abrupt halt when he was arrested in Washington, D.C., on charges ranging from conspiracy to commit murder to various drug offenses. Facing the grim prospect of life imprisonment or the death penalty, Alpo made the fateful decision to become a government informant, testifying against former associates including his enforcer Wayne Perry, in exchange for a reduced sentence. This decision marked a dramatic fall from grace and irreparably tarnished his reputation in the underworld, where the code of silence was sacrosanct. After serving a portion of his 35-year sentence, Alpo was released in 2015 and entered the Witness Protection Program, adopting the alias Abraham G. Rodriguez and residing in Lewiston, Maine. Despite the relative anonymity and safety offered by this new life, Alpo found it difficult to sever ties with his past. He was occasionally spotted in Harlem, a decision that would ultimately prove fatal. On October 31, 2021, in the early hours of the morning, Alpo was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Harlem, the very streets where his legend was forged and where his story ultimately came to a violent end. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content.